It's Friday Night Live. Hello. Thank you for those of you that were with me over on Viper's channel, where we streamed for about an hour and just talked YouTube and all the things. And now we're here to talk about Erika Girardi. However, as I was trying to shift between one stream and another stream, my DMs blew up, Twitter blew up, shit's just popping off. So if you're here on the replay crew, I love your face. Sorry, I've watched too much Phil DeFranco today. I love you, Law Nerd. There will be timestamps down below so that you can find direct links to everything you are looking for. But we're going to have to just address a little bit of nonsense before we get into talking about Erika Girardi. And then we're going to talk about Erika Girardi, Tom Girardi, and then we're going to get into Q&A and court of public opinion. Before we do any of that, look, I love DMX's music, and I am deeply sad. I am sad about the reporting that happened yesterday that announced that he had passed when his family was still trying to decide if they needed to take him off of life support or not. I am sad because he is a voice of our generation, of my generation, and just one of the more prominent rappers for me growing up in the kind of just rough style that just embodies for me the 90s, early 2000s of rap. And I'm sad about it. I really am. I'm sad. So, rest in power to DMX, because his voice will absolutely continue to carry on. And I'm sad. And yes, I know that Prince Philip also passed today. And at 99, I'm like, I mean, you live to 99, good on you and proud of you. But when it comes to DMX, I'm just absolutely heartbroken. That's what it is. I'm just sad. I'm sad. So let's get into it. Let's just get into it. Thank you, everybody. Yes, I was switching streams. It happens sometimes. Let's just get into it. Let's get all into it. Hey there. If we haven't met yet, I'm Emily D. Baker, the badass lawyer and everyone's favorite legal commentator. I'm the host of The Emily Show, and I break down the legal shit behind the news and pop culture stories we all want to talk about. I have been a licensed attorney for over 15 years, but this is not legal advice. I should warn you, I'm a big fan of the cursey words. This channel is where the law nerds unite to talk about facts, not fuckery. We do unite to talk about facts. However, there's fuckery afoot, and I'm going to address it one more time. The nonsense of it all. But first, Synergy sent me Booch, and I was floored. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you will see my Instagram story talking about this. I've got a lot of different flavors. Watermelon's one of my favorite, not sponsored. Yes, it was gifted. I'm floored. I am just like, I'm like, really? You wanted to send me stuff? Thanks. Sure. So we have a little bit of booch and vodka, and I'm so excited. Gabby, thank you. Gabby super chatted and said, thank you for being open about your ADHD. You helped me do research to get myself diagnosed at 22 with combined ADHD. Thank you, Gabby. So proud of you. Way to go, girl. It is, look, we carry a lot of shame as humans about shit we shouldn't carry shame about. We carry shame about our own trauma. We carry shame about our, different processing. Look, some people are Apple computers. Some people are running on Ubuntu. Some people are PCs running on Windows. We all have different operating software. And the fact that somewhere at some time they labeled one of them as typical and some of them as not typical makes no sense to me. We do things differently. And my camera moved. Like, why are we? There we go. It's like, why are we moved? It's going to be that kind of a day. It's going to be like that. I'm so annoyed right now with the screenshots y'all have been sending me. So I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it because, you know, the audacity of just adding somebody who is not who you've also blocked. That's okay. I've also blocked KJ at this point, but I'm going to tell you guys what's going on. I'm going to address it. We're going to move on to more important stuff because really, I think KJ misses us talking about her on this channel. And y'all, we've moved on. We have housewives to discuss. Other laws have happened. Nike dismissed their lawsuit today. Other shit is going on in the world, but no, again, someone wants to come for me on social media. So we will we'll address it. Welcome to the channel, Jordan. And I missed a super chat from Gadget Goddess. Thank you, Gigi. It's so good to see you, friend. Happy Friday night to all of the crew on Facebook. I'm going to tell you what's happening. I'm not going to pull up these tweets because, you know, I'll pull up this one. All right, I'll pull up this one. Thank you to everyone who screenshotted stuff for me. I appreciate it. The law nerds always have my back, and I appreciate you guys looking out. Look, when we talk about KJ, I know that she is a polarizing creator because she wilds out. I get it. We are not here to disparage. We are here to just chat about the facts amongst the fuckery that is being brought to our door. Victoria, I am so glad to hear that. It's so good getting diagnosed with ADD at any time. It's so good. So let me just pull this up and share it with you guys. And we're just going to address it and we're going to move the fuck on because we have other shit to talk, like legitimately other shit to talk about. I received confirmation from a reporter at Business Insider that Michael Saltz directed them to watch a legal YouTuber for the source on the lawsuit. A few days later, Emily went live with the information. We repeatedly requested to give her our side and she never responded. We'll talk again with this. And apparently this is a screenshot of a DM. Of course, he spoke to my coworker on November 6, 2020 and said, per her notes, if things go according to plan, there will be someone who is on YouTube who will go through everything in detail and break everything down for you. They're a lawyer, and then you'll have a source. The thing I came out with on November 7th, okay, if there is more, I will go to Twitter and take a look. Thank you guys for keeping me in the loop. For all of you asking who is KJ, KJ is the person behind Without a Crystal Ball who was sued by Tati Westbrook. So November 7th, if memory serves, is when I came out with the exclusive video from Tati with the Swanson lawsuit, with the response that I was provided on the Swanson suit. And I'm going to just go to my channel real quick and take a look because that's the timing of what happened there. The Swanson suit was breaking, and that is the business partner lawsuit that Tati was that KJ was the first person who reported on. And with regard to that suit, I asked if there was a comment with regard to the Swanson suit, and Saltz, who was not the attorney on the Swanson suit, said that he would try to provide me a comment from the lawyers on that suit or other information, and then provided me with documentation that was prepared in anticipation of litigation that I provided to all of you and said, this was provided to me. This is how this was provided to me, and let's talk about it. It wasn't until after that that KJ said, I want to talk to you about the suit, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, by that point, she had already gone after me on Twitter and other things. And I'm like, I'm not talking. Why would I? What? And I did not talk to the Westbrooks, and I never asked Saltz for a comment on his suit, except asking why they filed it in federal court in Washington, because I was curious and because it's not fundamental to the suit. And that's it. And then we've had conversations on Twitter. And then when the hacking started, there had been a few conversations about the hacking as well, mostly because my children were involved. And a lot of the tweets that were directed at me were directed at both of us. So there were conversations about the hacking, which, though they are tangentially related to the suit, they have other things to do. So I'm just looking at my channel right now, and let's see. I'm going to pull it up because the only thing that came out around that time in November was stuff regarding the Swanson suit. So I don't know why I would need a comment from KJ on the Swanson suit. Like, no. So these are my Lawyer Reacts videos. This is the exclusive one. And this video is from November 7th. So that, oh geez, I've paused myself on my face. Lord. But this is November 7th. So this is regarding this Clark Swanson suit. And this is an is she mad that there was an exclusive? This is regarding the Swanson suit. This literally has nothing to do with the Toddy Westbrook Without a Crystal Ball suit. So I don't understand. You guys are telling me that there is another response. I'll go look. I think there's another screenshot that says, let's see. The reporter noted that days later, Emily had a pinned tweet about how excited she was to receive praise from an amazing attorney like Saltz. They also noted that Emily told someone privately she was friends with Saltz. I didn't tell anyone privately that I was friends with Saltz. I have mentioned that we had the conversation that I've told you all about because I didn't know what a Saltz was until he was representing Tati, and then saw on his social medias that he had been a DA, I had been a DA. And I didn't know who KJ was until she was sued by Tati because I didn't, because I had no idea, because I don't watch her content, because it's not content that's made for me. I don't watch the things that she covers. Ugh, y'all. But yes, I absolutely did pin a tweet where Saltz was talking about a number of people, not just myself, that were covering this case. Because it was funny. So funny. We're gonna have fun because it's funny. All right, let's see what else is popping off on Twitter so we can. I feel like in the movie Mean Girls, stop trying to make fetch happen. It's never going to happen. There is no grand conspiracy. There is coverage of a lawsuit. Like the amount of fucking reaching that happens. And this woman wonders why she has gotten sued. All right, let's just pull up Twitter, and we're just gonna address Twitter for a minute because good Lord, we've put this case to bed. We've all moved on. We've all moved on. We don't care. What? None of us care at this point. What did Salt say? Just alerted to this. At the Emily D. Baker contacted me about the Swanson case. I said I was not on that case, but ultimately facilitated the letter from the attorneys who are to share with her. True. Got a call from Business Insider asking for the same. I told them to watch Emily, which was on November 7th. So these are the same tweets. I mean, that's what that is. And if the Business Insider wrote anything about it, I don't think I got cited on it. So, this only involved the Swanson case, a case about which I could not answer questions. I literally had nothing to do. It literally had nothing to do with Without a Crystal Ball. I did not know if at the Emily D. Baker would cover it on the 6th or 7th. I directed them to Emily for the Swanson case info I could not answer. I mean, yep. I don't know how the attempt to keep making something out of nothing is happening, but it was happening all over that lawsuit. It was happening all over the other stuff, but continuing to try to insinuate that things that did not happen have happened could start treading into unlawful territory, in my opinion. And Business Insider never reached out to me. Also, KJ did not reach out to me multiple times. And if you go and watch the coverage of this lawsuit, you will see the numerous times she threatened to sue me, came for me, called me names, disparaged me, amongst other things. And I know that Drama and Opinions covered it. Truth Sleuth covered it. Others have covered it with all of the tweets just going after me. It was after that she emailed me and was like, hi, I'd love to give you my side of the lawsuit. I'm like, I'm not, what? You wilded out. I had no idea who you were, and you wilded out on Twitter on me and then blocked me after you had wilded out on like a Sunday when I was with my family. So no. What I'm not going to do is have a conversation with this woman who has proven to time and time again go nuts on Twitter. Yeah, look, I'm an adult in my 40s. This is a whole lot of energy. This channel has all moved on. So, okay. A reporter was told that I'd be covering something that I was provided. Yep. I absolutely was provided it, said it in the video, did cover it. So, okay. Meriden, hello, good to see you. The thing is, someone like KJ operates based on pure speculation, paranoid theories, and seeing connections where none exist. She then projects that onto others. Since she has nefarious intentions, she attributes the same to others. Classic. I mean, I don't know the issue. I don't know KJ. I don't engage with her content or with her on social media. I see the back end of my analytics. None of y'all don't watch her channel either, because I can see what channels my subscribers are watching, not like you individually, but you as a collective law nerd group, and y'all aren't watching KJ. It's just, the thing is, I really did leave this kind of horseshit in junior high, where it's like, I'm going to talk shit about you, and then I'm going to try to talk to you because then I want you to spin this other narrative. No, I'm not engaging in this. Like, what? There's no need. There's no need to engage in any of this, because there's no grand conspiracy. There isn't any. I don't even know what else to say about that. It's stupid. And it's going to start bordering on more than stupid if it continues. But thank you all law nerds for keeping my eye out for somebody who wants to create a grand conspiracy so that they can say that there was a grand conspiracy against them. It's just a whole bunch of BS. There is no grand conspiracy. I did talk about the Swanson case and the Without a Crystal Ball case, but I am not spending my days behind the scenes trying to get information and push information on and run narratives and break stories. We're covering documents and stories that are legally related and relevant. This story is not legally related. This story is not relevant, and people are over it and don't want to talk about it anymore. So, yes, it is. It's a murderous. It's a murderous conspiracy. A murderous conspiracy. Erika says, was talking about a case today with my supervisor practicing law in a post-fact society is challenging. It's very, very challenging. The practice of law is changing very, very quickly. And it's going to continue to change because law is the new PR. And we saw that with Nike. Let me know, you guys, if you want to talk about Nike briefly, and then we'll move on. I did post it on Twitter, but we can talk about it real quick and then move on. Lisa said multiple attorneys have done many videos on KJ. Yes. Why are Emily's videos different than theirs? I don't know. I'd think that she'd be more mad at the channels who only do anti-KJ videos and nothing else. I don't know. Thank you for the super sticker, Octonation. Christy said she desperately wants to be on your level, but can't. Look, I'm sure her channel still has more subs and more views and more whatever. We're law nerds. We have other shit to do. You're too busy washing your hair to bother talking to KJ. It's true. My hair's not even down tonight. It's been a busy day. I have done multiple interviews today and podcasts, and there's a lot. We did a lot today. The desire for legal understanding is definitely fast. Nike, Nike, I don't do Twitters. Absolutely. Wolken lied. Building monuments to the gods of speculation is exactly what it is. All right, let's cover Vipe. What's up, man? Good to see you. It was so fun being on your stream. How are you? Thank you for the super chat. The irony is KJ claimed Tati should fear discovery, yet she did everything to avoid it. I mean, we'll see what happens. If this case gets refiled, we'll talk about it for sure. Look, the toxicity that goes along with that part of the internet is definitely not my favorite. Like the Bravo community, when we talk about communities, the pro KJ stands, it's a lot. Like it's a lot. And that is not what the law nerds do. That's not how we engage in the internet. Like the Bravo community, there's memes and it's funny. And it's though the topics are serious, the community is very lighthearted. And so it's fun to switch to other topics. I did not watch Lorianne last night. I'm sure Lorianne is frustrated with everything. I'm sure she felt like the attorneys were bouncing her around like a football in this case. But we talked about that on the channel. And I think that we talked about her the different varying levels of her engagement in this lawsuit fairly. So it just is what it is. So I did not watch that interview last night. Let's talk about Nike real fast. Let me just pull up that document real quick. Because of course I didn't have it up because I was like, I posted it on Twitter and then I was going to pull up all my documents as we went live tonight. And then other stuff happened and my DMs blew up and it's just been busy. We've been talking Bravo, fucking Bravo. You can only say that's my opinion if you hear it in your head in Tamara Judge's voice. So Nike. Sorry, I was pulling up Girardi stuff. Nike. Nike's over. So let's just pull up the end. It's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine. Look, it's the end of the lawsuit. It's the end of the lawsuit as we know it. Yes, Nike. Nike's done. It is done. We are done. All done. Good and done. Today, Nike filed in court notice of dismissal with prejudice. We've all learned about what with prejudice means. Hey, Dad, it's good to see you. Thank you for letting me know that you're watching. The law nerds, I'm sure, will all say hello, which you won't see because you're on Facebook and not the YouTubes. But if Mom's on YouTubes, she can show you the chat going by on the YouTubes. Good to see you. You lived through me being a junior high student, so you know exactly what Twitter's like, even though I know you're not on the Twitters. My dad was also an educator, and he worked in junior high. So firsthand experience as well. Either way, United States District Court, Eastern District of New York, Nike versus MSCHF Managed Product Studios. Damn it. This is over. Nobody said MSCHF Managed. Oh, I'm so sad. I'm so sad we didn't get to hear it. Damn it. Thank you guys for saying hello to the law parents. I appreciate it. I will have to ask my parents if they will, if they'll come stream when they're in town visiting, because they are all vaccinated and stuff. So we can do that. Hello, Brandy Rose. KJ has said that she will keep Brown if Tati refiles. He can't refile sanctions on salts from the previous case, can he? No, there would have to be something else that would have happened. That is all kind of dead. I mean, I'm denied the MSCHF Managed and I'm mad about it. Thank you so much, you guys. Lisa said, bless your dad for being an educator. Thank you, Lisa. That's very sweet. All right, I'm going to go back to Twitter in a second. Thank you, Katie. Because we're just going to address it, but not in the middle of Nike. So when people timestamp it, they're going to be like, Emily's ADD ran away with her on a crazy train. Yes. Going off the rails on it. Yes, that kind of crazy train. All right, back to Nike. There's no mischief managed. I'm sad. Oh, wait, let's just do this. We'll just timestamp it here and pretend that none of that happened. So Nike filed in court today, and I shared on Twitter. If you're following me on Twitter at the Emily D. Baker, you can do that over there. That they were dismissing the case with prejudice. We've all learned from other lawsuits we've talked about on this channel that with prejudice means you cannot come round here no more. Oh my God, how many song lyrics are we working in tonight? It's going to be like that because you don't come around here no more. So pursuant to FRCP 41A1A1, this is what was hard about law school being dyslexic. Shit like this. 41A1 big A little I. A1AI. This kind of stuff always made me crazy. Plaintiff Nike Inc. by and through undersigned counsel hereby dismiss with prejudice its claims against defendant Mischief Product Studio Inc. in the above caption action, with each party bearing its own cost. Y'all pay for your own lawyers and shit. In connection with the claims asserted in the complaint, the temporary restraining order issued on April 1st is dissolved, and Nike's released from the obligation to file a bond. Here's the thing with the TRO. Nike has to file a bond. And I think the court set it at $50,000 that they have to file. So the court was like, okay, you can have the TRO here. You have to file a bond with it, because if Mischief, if Nike ultimately loses the preliminary injunction that was coming up later this month and Mischief is harmed or damaged, then Nike's bond goes to Mischief. But that's all over now. So I posted on Twitter the news reports on this. Nike had given statements to various news outlets. And let's just pull one of those up. Because the news reports have not made it clear if there is going to be a absolute recall or if there's just a voluntary recall. I have seen kind of varying reports on this, and it's still unclear to me if it is a voluntary recall. So let's see what the New York Times says. I mean, what news outlets do we even trust anymore? But hopefully the New York Times has gotten it right in this case, and we will see. The settlement came a week after the judge granted Nike a temporary restraining order. Many of the highly sought after sneakers were quickly offered for sale on auction sites like eBay for 3 to 4 times the original price, making it less likely that buyers would seek a refund. One seller was seeking $15,000 for a size 8 pair of Satan shoes. In both cases, that's the case. Let's see what they said about the dismissal. Nike said it would not be responsible for any issues with the sneakers that people decided to keep. Purchasers who choose not to return their shoes and later encounter a product issue, defect, or health concern should contact Mischief, not Nike, the company said. Okay, so it's if you are confused and you thought they were real Nike shoes and you want to return them, Mischief will take them back. That's the settlement. And then they all walk away. And that's what I've seen largely reported too. It's not that the shoes aren't going to be in circulation. It's that if any of the actual purchasers are confused and feel that they have been fooled into buying Nike shoes, even though they bought them through the Mischief app, and they probably set alarms and were up very early because the shoes, sold out in a minute, then they can voluntarily turn them in and Mischief will accept them. So I think we're safe to say Mischief managed, because Mischief made the shoes. Mischief got sued. Mischief made a shirt regarding the lawsuit. Mischief got its name out to where you've got my 40-year-old ass talking about you that I've never heard of before. I've never heard of Mischief. And Nike got to put out their lawsuit saying, okay, well, we didn't have anything to do with it. And all the headlines were Nike sues Mischief. And everybody who's just bystanding this case went, oh, I guess Nike didn't make the Satan shoes. And just like Tiger King, it came and it went, and we all talked about it, and now it's over. No one's returning these shoes. Elizabeth, you are absolutely right. No one is returning these shoes. No one. is returning the shoes at all. All right. Can a recall require purchasers to return the product, or is it always voluntary? Carolyn's Art Adventures, that is a great question. The court can order a recall and ask people to return them. However, it's not like they're going to go to their homes and search. So it could be, hey, you have to return them. And it's like, I already sold them on eBay. Sorry, they're not here. So I think they came to an understanding that there's no way they were actually going to get these shoes back out of circulation. I feel like MSCHF has managed its purpose and made the art they wanted to make, got their name out there, and got the publicity from getting sued by Nike. So now they can wear it as a badge of misfit honor. And Nike, their purpose was met with this lawsuit too. Nike got their name in the media as being connected with a lawsuit, saying that they had nothing to do with it. They said it. I mean, they said it like 5 or 6 times in the first page of that lawsuit. These aren't authorized. These aren't authorized. We didn't authorize it. Okay, Nike, we got it. We got it. And the people who are still going to be mad are still going to be mad. So for a company that goes by MSCHF, that's an art collective that wants to rattle some cages and poke fun at the way that corporations do things, I feel like that's what happened. I feel like that's what happened. All right, before we hop into the Girardis, I'm going to pop back on to Twitter. We're going to address it one more time, and then we're moving on to the Girardis, and we're not circling back round to the topic. We're not. Let's see what's being said on Twitter. All right, let me pull up my Twitters and tweeters and other tweeters. And make sure that is pulled up. Where is my Twitters? Oh, every time I go on Twitter, I just see the DMX stuff in it again. Makes me sad. All right, what is being said on Twitter? And then we're done. We're done. Let's see. We talked about this one, about the Swanson case. Believe it or not, the press couldn't care less about the Without a Crystal Ball case. No reporter has ever contacted me asking about the Without a Crystal Ball case, even though we would have provided a prepared statement. No one wanted to report on it, even Business Insider. This only involved the Swanson case, a case about which I could not answer questions. It literally had nothing to do with the Without a Crystal Ball case. True. We said that one. So it looks like that is the thread going on Twitter. Yeah, believe it or not, the press couldn't care less about the Without a Crystal Ball case. No, the only people that really care is YouTube. YouTube cares about YouTube cases. But that's what that is. So that's about it. All right. I see you all out there asking Salty if he's going to refile. If he answers, just tell the chat so the chat knows. But we're moving on. There is nothing else. There is nothing else we need to know. And I missed a super chat. Jennifer Ellis, I am sorry I missed your super chat. Let me pull it up. Happy birthday to Chelsea. We can absolutely say happy birthday to Chelsea. And did the chat, I hope the chat also said happy birthday. Happy birthday, Chelsea. Have a great birthday. I know it's on Sunday. I'm normally not on social on Sunday, but enjoy. All right. You guys are asking about my nails. Since we're talking about silly stuff, yes, I got my nails redone yesterday. They are ombre bright pink. It felt like spring. I made them very, very bright. Chat, thank you for saying happy birthday to Chelsea. You guys are the best. And that's the lights were kind of inspired by the fiery pink nails, because the stuff going on with the Girardi case today is not like full fuckery. We're not like WTF fuckery. Like, it's just kind of exactly what we needed fuckery. Thank you, Gutter Star McKenzie. I love spending Friday nights with y'all too. It is my favorite. The journalist Kat confirmed to me she never talked to Katie or Saltz about any of this. Oh, I wonder if we will see more information come out about who at Business Insider said that to KJ. Oh, we will see. Thank you for bringing my cousin and I together after not seeing each other for a couple of years. No way. Lynn, I'm so happy for that. Law nerds unite. That's exactly what it's about. Okay, let's just go talk about housewives, and then we'll go to questions, and we'll just have a chitty chat. And yes, when I say chitty chat, it's because my family and I watch a lot of Kung Fu Panda. Yes, it is. Most of my references, if you're like, is that a reference to something that's a song or a movie? Yes. Yes, it probably is. I made this small so I could pull up documents and then I can't read the super chats. I work on the starting end of the legal shenanigans before even cops get there. It's fun learning about the stuff that happens further downstream. Calm 911 chick. It sounds like you are a 911 operator. Y'all have one of the hardest jobs in the world. And I have heard some wild 911 calls. I don't know how y'all keep your cool. Like the training y'all go through must be incredible, because I would have a very hard time keeping my cool sometimes with the stuff that comes across your desk. So I'm glad I can share the other end of it, because at the DA's office, we would always get the 911 calls and I would always be in my office listening to them. Everybody was always so professional, except there was one 911 operator that tried to make a joke, but then the things end up in court. And then it's like, oh no, we have to talk about it. I do reference Phineas and Ferb. I love Phineas and Ferb. So yes, I do reference Phineas and Ferb. Because yes, I am. All right, let's pull up Erika Jayne. So I didn't go to full fuckery because what's happening isn't fuckery. It just makes sense. So I'm going to do a little brief road so far. And then we're going to go to Q&As. Who's here for Girardi stuff? Let's just tell me in the chat that you're here for the Girardi stuff. And then let everybody in the chat know what you are drinking this evening or this morning, wherever you are finding. We are moving on. Oh, somebody asked about the bracket. Look, okay. This is a fantastic question. We had a lot happening family-wise this week, and I just did not have time to finish it. So the bracket is not done. I am finishing it. The bracket's going to be a whole thing. It's going to be its whole own thing. I've gotten a little crazy about it because I do that, but the bracket's going to be its whole thing. It's coming. It is absolutely coming. Thank you for asking. I do like Milo Murphy's Law. We watch it. My kids watch it. I really want my kids to watch things that I also enjoy. So, cold brew coffee. It's hot in Anaheim. Yeah, but in Anaheim, you guys are getting Disneyland back for locals only. I would be so about that. So ready for it. All right. We're going to get to this, and then we're going to get to Q&A. I couldn't be 911 without cursing. So thank you, 911. Meredith McKenzie, that's very sweet. Thank you. All right. I'm pulling up the bankruptcy stuff. We're going to do a case brief, and then I'm going to pull this together. All right. We are talking about the Tom Girardi bankruptcy case, the personal bankruptcy case. A lot has happened. There are a lot of videos I have on it. There are podcast episodes on it, but the road so far with regards to exactly just only what we are talking about tonight, the thing that has been circulating the internet, are Erika's signatures on a couple of documents and the context that those have come up into the bankruptcy court in. So with regard to that, the Ruigomez family is a family who was represented by Tom Girardi in a PG&E gas explosion. Ruigomez himself was substantially burned and injured. His girlfriend, who was with him, lost her life. They have been fighting with Girardi for a number of years now. They won a $12 million settlement from PG&E. They got $1 million of the settlement. They agreed to let Girardi help manage the settlement funds and dole it out to them. They've done numerous interviews about how that happened. When they started asking him for their settlement funds, it was clear that those were not getting turned over to them. They then sued Tom Girardi. They won a judgment. They then had to sue to enforce the judgment. Like, it makes me so angry. Their money should have just been given to them. None of this should have happened. So they sued, they won, they didn't get paid, they had to go back to court. When they went back to court, they were able to attach Tom Girardi's property in multiple counties. Hey, if anything happens with any of this property, we get the $11 million that we are owed first. And I don't think anyone has beef with that, except that they kind of do. So now that everything is in bankruptcy, a forced bankruptcy from multiple judgment creditors who went to the bankruptcy court and were like, hey, the Titanic is going down and we would like to get our money before it's at the bottom of the ocean. So we're forcing Tom Girardi and the law firm Girardi Keys into bankruptcy. Help, bankruptcy. Forced him into bankruptcy. Shortly after the bankruptcy was ruled an active bankruptcy, Tom Girardi's brother, like literally the next day, filed and said, wait, we'd like to respond. I'd like to be his guardian ad litem. He can't make these decisions on his own, and we haven't answered. And the judge was like, too bad, so sad. You missed the deadline. And if you need to go to the conservatorship court, go ahead to probate court and deal with it. There are conservatorship proceedings that are still going on. There have been medical reports that indicate that he has late onset dementia. I am not going to determine, I'm not a doctor. Those are what the reports have said to court. A number of people, including the State Bar of California, have said that is suspicious. Everything was fine a few months ago, and then the shit hit the fan, the house of cards crumbled, and now it's a problem. Though others have said, well, maybe the reason it's all crumbling is because of this underlying issue. It could happen. So that's what's going on in the conservatorship court. In this personal bankruptcy court, the trustee, the one who's running it, the quarterback of the bankruptcy, if you will, calling the plays, running things down, the trustee reached an agreement with the Ruigomez creditors saying, hey, we're going to sell this house. And they've found a realtor. The realtor has been approved. They're listing the house. Hey, we are selling the house. You have a judgment lien against the house. When the house sells, we need to pay taxes, fees, costs of the bankruptcy court. After that is paid, we agree to give you 80% of the proceeds from the home. 20% goes to other creditors because the Ruigomez family can still try to get the rest of their judgment against the law firm in that bankruptcy. So that was their proposed agreement. Now, that was just a proposed agreement, which means people can object, and people did object. There are videos. Erika Girardi came in and objected. So did Tom's ex-wife. Then another creditor came forward and objected to Erika's objection. It was like, objection, I object to you objecting because I, creditor, have a spot in line before you, Erika Jayne. Erika Jayne was arguing that she was entitled to funds from the sale of the house for her exceptions that are given because she's married to Tom Girardi. So her marital property, you have a homestead exemption of funds that you get before it pays the bankruptcy court, the creditors, or anybody else. There's a lump that you get. She was saying, excuse me? I have an exemption. I get this amount of money in exemption before any other money goes any of the places. Well, one of the creditors came forward and said, I am objecting to your objecting, and I do not think that you could get shit. So let us talk about the creditor that has come in and objected, Attorney Lending 2. If you want a breakdown of all the lending creditors, I have a podcast episode of The Emily Show about it on this channel where I talk about the different lenders that are owed money in the bankruptcy of the business. Because a lot of those things were secured with a lien on the home. So the Ruigomez family has liens on the home, but other creditors also have liens on the home. So if you're sitting there going, well, ain't this a hot mess? Yes. Yes, it is. So let's pull up this objection and go through it and have a conversation about what Erika knew was going on with the finances because her name is involved with this stuff. There's no getting her name out of your pretty mouth at this moment. All right. Attorneys, limited opposition of California Attorney Lending 2, right? Because California Attorney Lending is also a creditor, to the limited opposition of Erika Girardi to the Chapter 7 trustee motion to approve compromise with the Ruigomez creditors. Literally, it needs its own chart. Like the title needs its own flow chart. And this was filed April 5th. California Attorney Lending 2, or Cal 2, submits its limited opposition to the limited opposition, right, to the trustee's motion to approve compromise. That's the agreement with the Ruigomez creditors. As described in the Erika limited opposition, all of the attorneys out here just calling her by her first name. Nobody's calling her Miss Girardi. Everybody's just out here calling her Erika. If I was Erika, I think at this point I'd be annoyed. But she's just posted on social media like nothing's happening. So I don't know if she gets to be annoyed by being called by her first name in all of this. But also, Karen Girardi, his ex-wife, also objected. So maybe there could be confusion if the ex-wife's objection is also the Miss Girardi objection. So I get it. But maybe then just Miss Erika Girardi. I don't know. Erika feels informal to me, but whatever. At least they're not calling her my Erika. As described in the Erika limited opposition, Miss Girardi, there we go, claims that her rights in exempt property are senior to the rights of money judgment lien creditors. That's a lot of words that mean that these judgment creditors are owed money judgments, amount of judgments that are attached to the property. So when the property sells, it goes to those lien creditors. Cal 2 objects to this assertion on the basis that Ms. Girardi waived any claim to exemptions in property until Cal 2 is paid in full. Oh, did she now? Oh, did she now? And then they just bring the facts. On December 18th, 2020, an involuntary Chapter 7 bankruptcy petition was filed against Thomas V. Girardi, debtor, commencing this case, in the U.S. Bankruptcy Court for the Central District of California. Bankruptcy Court. See, it's so different than reading the other lawsuits, right? You're going, hey, this feels very bland and straightforward. Yeah, that right. The petitioning creditors moved for the appointment of an interim trustee, which appointment was granted. Oh, I shouldn't have even done a road so far because they're doing it for it. Well, we're going to do theirs too. Which appointment was granted by the Bankruptcy Court on January 5th, 2021. The trustee, Jason M. Rund, was appointed as the interim trustee on January 6th. The order for relief was entered January 13th. That same day, the trustee was reappointed and has been serving in that capacity since. All that means is the court approved the final bankruptcy, like you're in bankruptcy on January 13th. Same trustee that was the interim trustee, nothing surprising there. On the petition date, an involuntary Chapter 7 bankruptcy petition was also filed against Thomas Girardi's law firm, Girardi Keese. The order for relief was entered on January 13th. The case is pending before the bankruptcy court in the other case number. As of filing of the petition, Girardi Keese was counsel of record in a significant number of matters that were undertaken on a contingency basis. Let's just pause real quick and talk about what contingency is. Again, contingency is where the attorney takes the case and you, as the person who they're taking the case, don't pay until you win a judgment. And when you win the judgment, you pay the attorney's fees, then the cost and expenses, then you get paid. So they take their cut, then expenses, then yours. And what you have to look for if you're ever signing a contingency agreement is if they take their cut first or if they take fees first. If they take fees first, their cut tends to be less, but that can be better for you as the individual if they take fees out of it first. What is being charged as fees? Are you getting charged 10 cents for every minute on the phone? Are you getting charged down to 10-minute increments? Are you getting charged for every email, every photocopy? Know what you're being charged for and what those expenses are and how you can review them and when you approve them. Are they spending $300,000 on an expert to review something? You need to know. And then you get paid the remainder. The way that this works for firms like Tom Girardi's is sometimes if they don't have the money to pay all the people before the settlement comes in, they will get lending from a lender like Cal 2 that will lend them the money to front the cost for the lawsuit until it settles. And then the lender will get paid back out of the fees or the attorney's fees. The GK operations, however, were greatly diminished, with most of the attorneys and staff having resigned and moved on from GK. Moreover, the GK's cash on hand and in various institutional accounts was relatively small given the scope of debtors' operations. Prior to petition date, Cal 2 was a litigation financing source for GK, fronting the money. In or about July 5th, 2011, GK and Cal 2 entered into a loan transaction as amended the loan, pursuant to which debtor borrowed the principal amount of $3.5 million for the purpose of funding its operations. The loan was secured against, among other things, GK's right to payment for its representation of clients in various cases. That means that the cases themselves were put up as collateral for this loan for the purpose of funding operations, not for the purpose of funding a specific case, which is interesting. Cal 2 duly filed a UCC financing statement against debtor on July 6, 2011, which designated as filing number 11-number. Between 2011 and 2019, Cal 2 and GK entered into several other iterations of the credit agreement in which GK increased the principal amount of the debt up to $8 million. $8 million. Cal 2 filed several continuous amendments to its financing statements to maintain its perfected security interest in all assets of the Girardi Keese firm. It should be just of GK, but yeah, cool. On July 11, 2017, debtor delivered to Cal 2 his signed and notarized absolute, unconditional, and irrevocable personal guarantee. That means he is saying, I, Tom Girardi, promise, pinky swear, can't revoke it, notarized, that I guarantee that my firm will pay you back. A copy of debtor's personal guarantee is attached here too as Exhibit A. On or about November 8th, 2019, GK executed and delivered to Cal 2 that certain fourth amended and restated promissory note in the maximum amount of $8 million and secured by Cal 2's continuing security interest in substantially all of debtor's assets, including the house at subject now. As part of the consideration given to Cal 2, GK and the debtor executed and delivered to Cal 2 certain confessions to judgment dated November 12th, 2019, and agreed to entry of judgment without trial if, after the GK default under the loan and notice thereof, GK or its grantor did not cure the default. So that means they had a stipulated judgment. So here, we're going to just break that down real quick. That means if Girardi Keese defaulted on the loan, then Cal 2 could go to court and say, I have a judgment already. So here's a lawsuit and here's the judgment. Enter the judgment for us and let us attach all the property that we're entitled to. So assigned confessions to judgment. Hey, if I default, I owe you the money. My bad. After default on October 27th, 2020, Cal 2 secured judgment against GK and the debtor in the sum of $6,250,589.55 plus post-judgment interest and attorney's fees and costs incurred in collecting the judgment. Cal 2 duly filed a notice of judgment lien against debtor on November 2nd, 2020, and then it's got the filing dates for that and the different fees associated with that. Interest, judgment balance, those sorts of things. On February 2nd, 2021, the trustee of debtor's bankruptcy case, Jason Rund, filed a motion for an order compelling the turnover of real property. Among the assets of the estate is debtor's residence. In a financial statement prepared by debtor dated March 10th, the value of the property is estimated to be $16.5 million. I think they're actually listing it for less than that, but we will see. An order granting the motion for the turnover of property was signed on March 4th. On March 3rd, 2021, debtor's spouse, Erika Girardi, filed the Erika Limited opposition, thereby seeking payment of her exemption from any disposition of the property. So Erika is saying when the property is sold, the first thing that happens is I get the exempt funds. So property sells, I get exempt funds, then it goes to fees, then it goes to the Ruiz-Gomez creditors. Essentially, but me first. Cal 2 now files this limited opposition objecting to the claims made by Ms. Girardi. There we go. We're not calling her Erika. In the Erika limited opposition. Erika waived any claim to exemption until Cal 2 is paid in full. On or about September 17th, 2019, GK and debtor delivered to Cal 2 an agreement executed by Erika that read in pertinent part, I agree that California Attorney Lending 2, Inc. has a first lien on any assets owned by Thomas V. Girardi and any assets which are community property. Maybe they're just going to take the Jaguar ring. Are they going to take the Jaguar ring? They could. They could just say, this is community property. Give us the Jaguar ring. A copy of the agreement is attached here too as Exhibit B. On or about October 25th, 2019, as part of the consideration given to Cal 2 to induce its entering into the fourth amended and reinstated property notice. I get into this more in another video, and I will find the particular video. It's an episode of The Emily Show where I talk about this, where Cal 2 breaks down how they kept running into issues with Tom, and he's like, no, but it's good. No, but we can do this. No, we've got this other property, and kept the ball rolling on this lending, even with Cal 2 being like, I'm not super comfortable with any of this, but they kept lending the money. Maximum amount of $8 million. GK and debtor delivered a second agreement executed by Ms. Girardi, contained in a letter addressed to Joseph D. Norito, Esquire, at Counsel Financial, the umbrella organization for Cal 2, that read in part, it is agreed that any obligation from the law firm to Thomas Girardi, the estate of Thomas Girardi, is waived until Counsel Financial is paid in full. The letter is attached as Exhibit C. So what they are saying in this is that in 2019, Erika waived her rights to any of that until what Tom owed these creditors was paid in full. Cal 2 objects to Ms. Girardi's assertion that she is entitled to, at this juncture, to claim exemptions under California law in the debtor's bankruptcy case. Girardi contractually subordinated her right to California's homestead exemption by executing two agreements, B and C, agreeing that Cal 2 must be paid in full before she received dividends from debtor's bankruptcy case, and then causing GK and debtor to deliver these two agreements to Cal 2 and Counsel Financial. Therefore, the proceeds from the sale of the property to which Ms. Girardi claims she is entitled under the homestead exemption must remain in the bankruptcy case until Cal 2 has been paid in full. No soup for you, Erika Jayne. Conclusion: for the reasons set forth above, it's requested that the bankruptcy court deny the limited opposition. And then they go ahead and attach the two signed documents. Appendix A is the text of the agreement signed by Tom Girardi, or squiggled by Tom Girardi. And this was executed July 11th, 2017. So this is the original, then the exhibits, and then the additional addendums signed and notarized. Then we get to what Erika signed. Exhibit B. September 17th, 2019. I am married to Thomas V. Girardi. We have been together more than 20 years. I agree that Cal Attorney Lending 2, Inc. has first lien on any assets owned by Tom Girardi and any assets which are community property. I will note that this is not notarized. I will also note that the Bravo watchers have pulled up a card that Erika signed for Lisa Vanderpump when her brother passed away and compared signatures, and that information exists on the interweb if you want to go take a look. But this is not notarized. It also makes me rethink my entire signature because my B is more prominent than my E, but I the squiggle, I get it. However, is Erika going to come in and say, I didn't squiggle that? I don't know. Exhibit C, October 25th, 2019. Dear Joe, it is agreed that any obligation from the law firm of Thomas Girardi, the estate of Thomas Girardi, is waived until Counsel Financial is paid off in full. I am the sole heir. With kind regards, Erika Girardi. So 2 things from various points in time, October 25th, 2019, and where'd the other one go? Nope. And from September 17th, 2019. None of these are notarized. Will Erika come into court and say, I've never seen those. I didn't sign those? I don't know. I don't know. They are very different signatures from my initial glance at them. You guys let me know what you think. Do the signatures look like they could be the same? I mean, we're not handwriting experts, but this is a very different way of signing than this is. So could Erika come in and say, I didn't sign either of those? This one is very clear what it says. But could there be an argument that she didn't sign it? I don't know. Should we look at the signature? Do you guys want to look at the signature on the Vanderpump letter? Let's look. Let's look. Let's look. Let's look. You guys are like, they're way different. Yes. Oh my God. What if Tom signed it? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And the E's do look very different to me. Let's pull up the Vanderpump letter. Bravo Bone Collector has shared it. Bravo Ducking Bravo has shared it. There are lots of Bravo watchers on Instagram who have shared it. Let's see. Erika. This bankruptcy trustee is like, motherfucker, do I have to get a handwriting expert up in this bitch? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Amanda makes an excellent point and says she could have signed it differently because she did not want to sign it. It's a technique to get out of contracts. They might have to provide more proof because she might come in and say, he signed those. I've never seen them. I did not know. And there's no notary. And why the hell, if Cal 2 was already having issues, wouldn't they say these have to be notarized? To Lisa Vanderpump. We're now Bravo investigators. People.com has this card from February 26, 2019. Let's see if there's a still shot of it in here. So this is from 2019. This is before any of this even went down. Let's see where it is. I see discussion of it, but I don't see a picture of it. I will find it. Oh, there's ads playing. Of course there's ads playing. Why are there ads playing? Ugh. All right. We will see if this has the clip of the signature in here. I actually enjoy that wine, by the way. They showed it as the thumbnail of the ladies. There it is. Who takes a screenshot anyway? Who takes a screenshot of a card and it was like why did Erika need to come with receipts? Okay, this is not what we're talking about. All right, this is a terrible, terrible cut of this. It's really, really hard to see. Let's see. There we go. Let me see if this will stay paused. All right, let's see if we can make this big. So this one is more of the E squiggly, if you guys can see it. And this is what people have been pulling up from the show, that this is more of the, gosh darn it, this clip, but this is more of the E squiggly in the card. And that's what people have been going off of. I will see if there are other pictures on the interwebs. Hold on. Let me find that, because there are Instagram accounts that have that. It's just off the top of my head, I am not remembering exactly. The fact that there's screenshots of this shit on the internet literally lets me live my best life, and we can all be little investigators here. So this is again from March 1st, 2019, because like Apology Gate was a whole thing, but now it's more of a thing. So thank you, Reality Blurb, for having a picture of this up in here. And that's the squiggly E that Erika had like a screenshot of. But there is the squiggly E. Let's look at the other one. So let's pull these two up too. This E doesn't look exactly like the squiggly E either, but people do sign things differently for sure. So there's that one, and then there's that one. This one looks more like, not that. More like that. I mean, there's a dot on this one. There's a dot on that one. It's you guys, this is going to be a mess. This is going to be a mess. And I wonder if Erika will come in and say she didn't sign it. She might not. This might all just be monuments to the gods of speculation for no reason, because she might not come in and say, I didn't sign it. But she might, and they're not notarized. And this could be an awful lot of money because Cal lenders want $6 million paid off before Erika gets a dime. And I think the Ruy Gomez are going to come first before Cal too. So we will see. But this is going to be a fight over this money. And we're going to have to see Erika coming into court. I will not be surprised if she says that she knew nothing about these and that these are forged. I would not be surprised at all, unless she did sign it. And in which case, if she signed it, tell the truth in court and shit, obviously, always. But how do you not notarize this? And how do you accept it not notarized? Because the stuff that Tom signed is absolutely notarized. So the liens that Tom signed in 2017 and the agreement he signed are absolutely notarized. But if you're asking the spouse to waive their rights, how is that not notarized? These are notarized. How do you not? Especially after these were signed in 2019, after Cal 2 was already having financing issues with Tom Girardi. And yes, hindsight is 2020. And yes, they trusted him. And yes, they loaned him so much money, they were already in a hole. But I know there are those that are like, Erika knew. Erika signed this. Erika knew what was going on. She knew that he was having financial difficulties because she knew that she had signed these things. One, I'm not 100% convinced that she knew that she signed them. But two, this just says, I agree that Cal Attorney Lending 2 has the first lien on any assets. So even if, assuming that this is an authentic signature from 2019, does this just mean that she knew that there was a lender that was attaching assets to the home? Would she have asked why? Is she going to pull a Teresa Giudice and say, my husband typed this up and asked me to sign it, so I signed it? I have so many questions. Sounds like Erika may have to downsize her lifestyle, just saying. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how the court is going to take this. I don't know what Erika's response to this is going to be. I also don't know if this proves she knew that money was being taken from clients, or if this just proves that she knew that there were financial issues with regard to this lender, saying it is agreed that any obligation from law firm to Tom Girardi, the estate of Tom Girardi, is waived until counsel financial is paid off in full. Also, these are saying different things. I think somebody different typed this up. Obviously, this is on Girardi Keese. This is on Girardi Keese stationery. This one is very much less formal, but these are very differently done. They're like a month apart. So why is this one not on Girardi Keese stationery or letterhead? And why is this one on letterhead? And could one be authentic and one not be authentic? Yes. So could this have signed by Tom and this one signed by Erika? Possibly. Could neither of them be signed by her? Possibly. I'm not saying that So So, some signature examples. I'll look at signature examples, but I also don't think it says what it is. WO says the October letter looks like it was signed on Erika's behalf by someone with the KC initials, doesn't it? Yes, it absolutely does look like that because of the way it says /KC. Though this could have been the individual that wrote it up, but it does look like someone signed it on her behalf. But did she know? Did she know? Pink Piggy, I went into this in the other video. Oh, let's just switch. We're done. Let's just go to questions. Let's just go to questions. Time for questions. Please, 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 for the love of my ADHD, put question before your question. It makes it easier for me to see. Thank you. Why didn't they check their credit score? Look, what was going on with Cal 2 is that they were already lending to Girardi. And from the other things they'd filed, what they were indicating is that Girardi was like, no, just a little bit more. Like, I've got this other thing coming in. I'm going to pay you back. I just need to get a little bit further. And Cal 2 was like, look, we're already in the whole millions. We have to just go ahead and give the loan, and then the next lawsuits coming in and the next resolutions coming in. It looks like Cal 2 had a long-standing relationship with him and thought that the next settlement he would get covered. And they had these signatures that they believed or seemed to believe were authentic. They had a stipulated judgment. They had all these things to go to court, but who knew that we were all going to end up here? I think they figured that once he got the next large settlement, they would be paid off. I think that's what they thought. It's just really interesting stuff. Rhonda asks, question, have you heard of the Leticia Stouch case? No, she represented herself. You need to cover it. It's going to be wild. I have not heard of it. I will put it on the list to take a look. These housewives have been keeping me hopping. There is stuff filed in these Girardi cases in one of the 3 courts every few days. It's been crazy. Nike went fast and quick. It's done now. So yay, that Nike's done. I realized I was sinking. I'm like, and this stuff has been so busy, but I'm looking forward to touching on some other stuff and seeing when we get into the defense case of the Chauvin trial, and then getting towards the end of that, talking about it kind of cumulatively or with some of the other lawyers here on LawTube. But the housewife stuff has been keeping me both entertained and busy. Question, at this point, in your opinion, what is Erika looking at facing in all of this? I mean, financial consequences are the first thing. What we know when we say facing, I'm assuming you're asking like what kind of liability. There are going to be financial consequences. The financial consequences in this are she's listed as a co-debtor to most of this stuff. A lot of what she owns is going to be identified or can be identified as community property. It was purchased during the marriage. The bankruptcy trustees are going to go after it hard. I will not be surprised if one of these trustees or both sues her company if they can track back monies given to the company. We've seen the trustee in the bankruptcy case regarding the law firm fighting to get the law firm's CFO and accountant into court to help the debtors or help the trustee figure out where the fuck all the money is, what all the loans were. So they are still trying to figure out what is financially happening in the law firm stuff. If loans were made from the law firm to Erika in some way, they will be trying to get those back. So a lot of financial stuff is going to happen. We know that the judge in Illinois said that he forwarded this to the AUSAs to look into. What we know about the AUSAs is, don't they love prosecuting a housewife? I'm being cheeky, but also this is a very interesting case for an AUSA, depending on what's turned up in the bankruptcy case, but we might not see anything come of that for years, depending on what's turned up, what is found, and how much they can prove that she was involved in. And that is going to be an investigation that's heavy in paper and documents to see what Erika knew. And they're not going to bring her into it as criminal liability until they can prove that she knew that criminal activity was happening. And when people ask me about the Jen Shaw case and why Coach Shaw wasn't charged, I'm like, I believe he was not indicted because they can't prove what he knew or what he did. So those are my thoughts. Those are my thoughts. I mean, Elizabeth said Cal 2 acted irresponsibly by lending more money after having issues. I mean, do I personally want to see the Rui Gomez family get paid before Cal 2? Yes. Sorry, Cal 2. But you had a choice in this. You chose to engage with Tom Girardi. The Rui Gomez family was taken advantage of by their attorney. Cal 2 might have been charmed by their attorney, but it's a completely different relationship with different obligations. Holly asked, could the bar potentially be liable for not catching Tom's mishandling of client funds? If he'd been sued multiple times by a client in the bar, not getting involved seems downright negligent. Holly, I agree that it seems negligent. The bar is a government entity. I would be interested to see if any of these groups of clients who have lost money, lost judgment, choose to bring action against the state bar. It's not always easy to do with a government entity, but I would be interested to see if that happens. They would be the ones to have standing saying, look, he's been sued all these times. If you had done something then, we wouldn't be here now. Because if you look at the state bar's website, and I pulled this up in a different live stream, just go to the state bar and see what it's. I'll show you what it says. No, that's not who I'm looking at. I still get stuff from the state bar being like, hey, this person's running for judge. Do you know them? And I'm like, yes, I do know them. Let's talk about them. They're great. Because here's what the bar shows now. And what people will argue is that if this had been there, then maybe I wouldn't have been taken advantage of, essentially. Consumer alert. Misappropriation of client funds. Ordered inactive. Disciplinary charges filed. So that is what is going on the bar's website. So people will say, why couldn't you have done this earlier? Do it earlier. I agree with you. And I think the LA Times has done a good job of pointing out all of the coincidences that have coincided with the money Tom Girardi was spending, the benefits he was potentially bringing, and maybe why those at the California bar years gone did nothing. All right, let me keep going to questions. Yeah, it's expensive to be me is about to have a whole different meaning. It's going to become ironic. It's going to become ironic. Belisa Bella, I have thought it was in poor taste the entire time. I've said it on numerous channels and different interviews that I've done. I have thought that her posting has been distasteful. I imagine for those who are Girardi clients or past Girardi clients, it feels gross to them. I can understand saying something like, I acknowledge, I see what is happening. I have brand deals and obligations to post, and I will be continuing to post that. Otherwise, I will just be filming the show and not posting. I would understand that. No shade to that. You have contractual obligations. You're facing a bankruptcy. There's a lot of shit happening. You're obligated to do things that bring in money. Cool. No shade there. But a lot of it is just tone deaf. Really. It really is. Let's keep going. Hello, Isabella Scott. Will Erika be affected by the bankruptcy since she's married to Tom? Yes, because they're not both charged in this, because this was Tom's creditors forced him into bankruptcy as the debtor, but they are still married. Erika came to court and said, we are still married. I want my homestead exemption. And the court's going to go, you are still married. We want your community property. Thanks. Okay, thanks. Question, when was the $20 million loan to Erika Jayne? So the $20 million loan was alleged by the law firm that sued Tom Girardi in Illinois, Edelson PC. It's alleged in their complaint. That didn't have a date on the allegation. That didn't have any more information. It's an allegation in a lawsuit, and we will see if they turn up any documents with regard to that. The bankruptcy trustee, I imagine, will sue EJ Creative to get that money back. I want Erika to use that influence she has to get her husband's victims their money. I mean, I would like to see that too. I would absolutely like to see that too. All right. We talked about that. Shaylin, wouldn't they have to have a witness sign those documents? One would think, because now it leaves it open for argument. It's clear that Tom signed that with them. It's not 100% clear to me that Erika signed that. We're going to see what she says about it. Maybe she's just going to say, yeah, it was me. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. Pay them. We'll see. Butter Pecan 421. I have a live stream on that where I covered it, but essentially, TLDR, Tom Girardi's ex sued because she gets $10,000 a month in spousal support, and that's supposed to continue until he's dead, and he's not dead yet, and she wants her $10,000 a month in spousal support. There we go. Yes, Cascus, that's exactly what it is. Dinner's Ready said, question, I am the sole heir. What about the ex and his kids? Does the heir thing mean it's just about the house? I am the sole heir, I read to mean that there is a will that names Erika as the sole heir. And someone can do that. So that's how I read I am the sole heir. I wonder if that's news to his kids and his ex. I mean, your ex, you wouldn't expect, I don't think, to be the heir, but he has adult children. So I wonder if they knew that as of 2019, Erika was the sole heir. That might be news to them, but there's going to be a will somewhere that's not going to change now because he's in a conservatorship. Question, if she didn't sign those documents, does that mean she's first in line? It doesn't necessarily mean she's first in line. The homestead exemption is one of those things that is granted by law, but also I think there's a very real argument that she is not entitled to the home because the home was purchased by Tom prior to the marriage. And there's no indication that she's a co-owner to the home. There's no indication that the bankruptcy court has needed her to sign off on listing the home or selling the home. So I don't know if the home is actually community property. So this may all be completely moot in that she signed her rights to other assets. It doesn't say in any of those, the house specifically. It says that they get paid first, but she might not be entitled to the homestead exemption. Only Tom may be entitled to the homestead exemption because I don't know if the home's actually community property. So that hopefully answers that question. Dr. Riley, there are so many aspects of this case. The breakdown helps a ton. We're like going nugget by nugget in this case because the big picture is so much stuff. And we haven't even touched the stuff going on in the law firm case in a while. That's going to be next week's episode of The Emily Show because other lawyers are getting assigned to stuff and there's other stuff happening on that. Question on the Zach Avery charges. I don't know anything about the Zach Avery charges. Sorry, Lindsay. I do not. Melissa, question. Do we know if Jen Shah was able to post bond yet? Also, how much do you think she is paying her legal team? I have not seen it show up in court that the bond has been posted. We can go double check and see if that was done today. But she has until next week to do that. So let me log back into Pacer and take a look. And then how much do you think Jen Shah is paying her legal team? A lot. She has 3 lawyers. Depending on where they are, I imagine the lawyer in Utah's hourly rate is probably under the 400 range, but the lawyers in New York and DC could be in the $600 to $900 range an hour, depending on years of practice, experience, things like that. So a lot. like Toddy Westbrook level a lot that lawyers are being paid. I also imagine that the lawyers, if there was any cash assets left, that the lawyers went ahead and made sure that they had possession of that so that they were going to get paid, because the lawyers in a case like that are going to be like, hey, let's make sure we're getting paid. So let me pull up and see if that's popped into Pacer yet. So what happens if we find out Tom forged her signature? Well, I don't know if much will come. First, I don't know if it's relevant, because if she doesn't have a homestead exemption, it may not be super relevant to the bankruptcy court. It would be more information of us going, oh, interesting. But could it be pursued by the lender? He's in conservatorship, so there's not really a way they can pursue that and say, oh, this was forged and now we're in a worse position, because she might have been signing over rights to something she didn't even have rights to. So you might not see much come of it, actually. All right, let me look at here. Let's just all do it together. Let's just look at the docket today. Granting letter motion, adjourn the sentencing as to Joseph DePaula. The sentencing will be held on June 25th. Yeah, that's all I saw the last time I came up in this as well. The protective orders are in, and they're adjourning the sentencing until June 25th. So one of this defendants is being sentenced. They've asked to set the sentencing over, and the sentencing was set over and was granted. So let's see. This is regarding it won't because I'm on Pacer, it won't pull up. Hold on. I'll have to download it in a minute. This office represents Joseph DePaula in the above captioned matter. We write on the consent of the government to request a 60-day adjournment of the April 26th sentencing to June 25th or any day thereafter. We request a longer adjournment to accommodate the trial scheduled to begin in May. So counsel has a trial. DePaula pled guilty in the instant case on February 2nd after reviewing the PIR with our client. We have determined that there are additional documents we need to obtain to properly advocate for Mr. DePaula at sentencing, because they will present to the judge and the judge will determine the sentencing. So the government and the defense will present to the court for sentencing. Mr. DePaula prefers that his sentencing be conducted in person. DePaula accepted responsibility for his actions quickly and was one of the first defendants to plead. He has been perfectly compliant with the conditions of release, is gainfully employed, and continues to attend necessary treatment programming. Given the foregoing, I respect, and then the court granted it. So he will not be sentenced until June. I am not surprised. I mean, that is not uncommon. I just want to see what the sentence is going to be, so we have an idea of what we're looking at with regards to Jen Shaw. So that's what that is. Do you have any thoughts on EJ's TEDx talk? Did anyone buy the EJ makeup collab with Too Faced? Did AJ have a makeup collab with Too Faced? Also, was that recent? Like right now doesn't seem to be the time to be releasing a Too Faced makeup collab, but I guess you got to do what you got to do, because those things are in the books well in advance. I've never seen her TED Talk. I didn't know she had a TED Talk. What's her TED Talk? I will have to go look up her TED. I mean, I've not seen her TED Talk. I will have to go look for sure. Let me see. Question. Oh, Boxy, thank you for asking about hubby. It's been a week. It's been a week of back pain, but doing much, much better. Teresa asked, you mentioned in a previous coverage that Ron Richards' firm was representing one of Tom Girardi's, representing one of the creditors. Does Ron Richards covering all things Girardi on social media cross some boundaries? I am not going to comment on my opinions about what other lawyers do on the interwebs. He seems to be just representing a debtor. Does he have interest in this moving forward for his client? Sure. I'd be interested in what y'all think. Belanca said, isn't this a moot point if Erika has no legal standing since TG purchased the home? It might be. It might all be a moot point, because I'm not convinced that the home is community property. So yes, it very well may. I realize how far back in the questions I am, and I apologize. Question, who would be responsible for disproving the validity of Erika's signature, Erika or Cal 2? It will depend on what Erika says and what the court decides to do. Again, it could all be moot. I would be very, very interested in it, for sure. Question, wouldn't the judge be irritated? Document 9 signed and it would even be accepted. Isn't that law 101? I don't know which document we're talking about that's not signed, but documents should be signed. I mentioned that. I mean, as far back as the, good with the eyeliner there. I mentioned that as far back as the Toddy Westbrook business partner suit. The lawyer didn't sign the lawsuit there. Yes, every lawyer should sign everything. But if some things are electronically signed, they can be electronically signed. Who is paying for Erika's lawyers? Erika. Where did she get the money to pay for experts? If she contests the validity of the signature, I don't know if she'll have to pay for experts or if I don't know if that will be asked for by the bankruptcy court if she's contesting it, but she seems to have money. She might have money coming through her business, money coming from Bravo, money coming from sponsorship opportunities. Her assets are not frozen. So there may be money in her business that's coming into her. She may have had money in separate bank accounts coming into her. So that's where that's coming from. I'm going to try to catch up in the questions. If I miss things, I try to do my best and I apologize. Question, would you consider doing what your rights are when interacting with police? Not sure if that's in your wheelhouse when it comes to the law. Charles, I have not previously done a ton of kind of the how-to stuff. I definitely come at things from a prosecutor's angle, but Natalie, Lawyer Chick, and I have been trying to connect to do a collab, and it might be fun because she is a defense attorney and works in criminal to have that conversation, because a criminal defense attorney's perspective and a DA's perspective are going to be slightly different, but you generally have the right to remain silent and remain silent. And that right extends beyond interacting with the police, by the way. You have the right to remain silent on social media. You have the right to remain silent across other things. So you have the right. You have the right. You have the right. You guys, we've had like 3,000 people in here all night. I don't know where our like counts are at, but we are an hour and 32 minutes in. I have not asked for anybody to do the YouTube-y things. I should. We're trying to get to, 100K. It's going to be great. I'm very excited to be like all officially legit. I'm going to make my 13-year-old come in and say he like acknowledges me as a legit YouTuber. I'm teasing. I mean, only if he wants to, because, we're going to put the play button right there. We might have to give it a special like white light. It's going to be very exciting. So go ahead and like the stream, subscribe to the channel, join if you want to be a channel member. I have been asked by a number of you to put up some of the things I've done on Instagram. I'm going to put those up for members only here for those of you that want to watch them on YouTube. If you want to see them on Instagram, you can go there. We're at 94.3 thousand law nerds. So go ahead and like the stream, and that's what it is. Mother Oats, hear me out. A TV show about an AUSA department whose sole job it is to go after housewives and watch them. I mean, I would live. Like, can we have a crime show about just going after social media and TV personalities? Because it doesn't have to just be housewives. Like the AUSAs that are going to go after let's make a hypothetical. How about a YouTuber turned TikTok star who's using social media apps to message minors and solicit nudes from them, and the attorneys behind the scenes that are trying to track it down? Or here's another one. How about a YouTuber, wacky personality? Hey guys, what's up? Blah, blah. I'm gonna get my friends drunk because it makes good content, but then maybe there's sexual assaults that happen. Maybe not. Maybe like that. Maybe like that. Mother Oats, I think it's brilliant. Who are our TV people in here? We need a show. We need like a dramatized show or a reality show. I'm here for it. So Lisa Parker, question, is there a possibility EJ could provide evidence against hubby? No. I don't even think she wants to, but spousal privilege is a thing. She cannot be forced to testify against her spouse. They are still married. You were going to ask about Jen's husband getting blamed. Thanks. I'm going to keep scooching along to questions. Can Erika's housewives' earning be used to pay back creditors? It depends on how the bankruptcy court does things, how the businesses are structured, if she's paid directly, if she's paid by her business, if the money's paid from Bravo into her business. It depends. So it depends, but it's possible. Question, will anyone that improperly received settlement money and didn't know be brought into court, or can they just give it back? With regard to Tom Girardi, I don't know who would have improperly received settlement money other than Erika, but the bankruptcy trustee's job is to track it down, and the bankruptcy trustee can sue on behalf of the estate to bring monies back they thought were improperly dispersed. So the bankruptcy trustee has a lot of power to do that. Let me keep moving. Are housewife shows still popular? Yes. I don't know anyone who watches them that could be generational or cultural. Is she a big deal? The housewives are, like Jen Shaw, not as much as Erika Jayne, but the housewife shows are definitely still a big deal for sure. No dumb questions, Shazbel Colors. Not at all. Always ask. We're here to answer questions. This is an inclusive space. We foster questions. We ask questions. We like to talk about questions. No stupid questions. Notarized means it went to an official notary. And I'm going to pull up the thing and show you the stamp. And that's okay, because based on your age, you may never have had to notarize anything. And that's totally okay. You can go and get notaries done at, like, even at the UPS store if you need to notarize like a formal legal document. But it is this stamp down here. These look different state by state, but you go into the notary. This person down here is the notary. The notary will stamp and sign that the document was signed in front of them and that you provided like your face and identification saying, I am the person. So the notary is authorizing that the person who signed all this stuff is the person who was in person before them who signed it. So you show up and you sign all this stuff in front of the notary, and they do all of the legal stuff, authorizing and verifying that you showed up, you were you, and you were the one that were signing it. Now, I have had cases where notarizations have been faked, but it's rare, and it came up in a criminal case. That's likely not the case here. So that is a notary. No stupid questions. So glad that you asked. Let me keep going. Oh, and everything just jumped down. You have to show them your ID before they signed it. Absolutely. My bank and credit union have notary too. Absolutely. You see this where, like if you're buying a house and things like that, where you can end up needing to notarize things because it is proven by a third party that you were the person. They also fingerprint you and put it in the book next to your signature. So they look at you, they get your ID, they fingerprint you, you sign the things. It's a whole situation. Yes, with the fake. It was a whole mess. It's a whole mess. So thank you for asking. We learn things. We learn things. Okay. I'm going to look at just a few. Marvelous Mel was a notary. I love I love all the different stuff y'all do. So good. Anne Elizabeth, this is a great question. Are there other former partners just off the hook? This was going on while they were there. Do they have any responsibility? The court in Illinois is going after that, and we're starting to see the law firm going after at least the accounting professional now, trying to figure out what they know and get them to cooperate with this. With regard to the other lawyers and what they knew, the court in Illinois is like, why didn't you tell us the victims weren't getting paid? With financial responsibilities, if they were just employees, they wouldn't be on the hook financially, but they're definitely being looked into in Illinois for sure. All right, you guys, it is time to move on to YouTube. Not YouTube. I was looking at YouTube, at SVU YouTube. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's what we need. It's what we need. A Survivor show. That's fantastic. All right. Let me see if I have anything else before we jump on. Felons by Bravo. It's like, is Mob Wives on Bravo? Was Mob Wives on Bravo? Is Mob Wives a Bravo entity? I don't know. Maybe they need their own. Maybe they need your own. Question: can we have some kind of Friday Night Live with some kind of buzzwords for a drinking game? Oh, like Andy's. I will talk to the mods about a buzzword for the night and let the chat decide on Friday Night Live. This can be a chat directed activity. Y'all can pick a word on Friday and we can pin the comment if you guys decide. So we can let the members only chat pick a word on Friday Night Live, and it can be to drink anything that you are drinking, because I know there are many in our group in recovery, and we're glad that you hang out with us even when we drink the adulty things. You can hear it in my nose because I added vodka in this tonight. Like, I'm already starting to get like, wait, how many likes are we at? We need to move on to Court of Public Opinion. Where are we at? I need to know because it's time to move on to Court of Public Opinion. And I think I've covered everything. Misopinionated. I don't know how your chat got out of my chat, but I see it up at the top. There it is. I got out of my chat. I am a notary public and I don't stamp or seal without the person in my face. Fiduciary notaries are different and they have an associate's degree. There we go. Thank you so much. But yes, the notaries I've participated in, you have to be there with your ID and you have to stamp the things. So, yep. Hello, Matthew. Good to see you. Your arm is super sore from your first dose of Moderna. Doing your part. Love the mods and the channel. Can't wait till Friday because Road wraps up with and I can watch Friday Night Live. Amazing. There we go. Thank you for 955 likes. You guys, there's almost 3,000 of you all in here. We should at least get over 1,000. We should at least get over 1,000 for Lawyer Cat. I mean, we should. I'll do Court of Public Opinion. If we have over 1,100, we'll do Lawyer Cat for sure. It's okay to be smoking. There's no judgment here. There's no judgment here at all. Next wives, as I'm combining chats. We'll do like Watch What Happens Live. The chat, the pre-chat, the members chat can talk about a word, and then the mods can pin it when the stream starts and we can see if there's a word. So, cause if you pin it, I don't think I'll see it. So then I won't know what it is, cause I don't need to know what it is. All right. Let's go to Court of Public Opinion. Again, I am working on the brackets. It's going to be a whole thing. So we have a quick Court of Public Opinion tonight that was sent to me by a law nerd in DM, which was fantastic because I was like, yes, that idea. I need to pull up my DMs so I can appropriately give a shout out. So let's go to the Court of Public Opinion. And y'all, my DMs are so full right now. I do not see where it was sent, and I am sorry. I will find it and pin it in the comments when I find, so I can give the appropriate shout out for the hey, can we do this in Court of Public Opinion, and sent a little video clip with it because I appreciate it. And I was like, yes, we can do that. And it's one I hadn't thought of, and it is great. So Court of Public Opinion, y'all. This one only has two options. Do you shower facing the shower head or facing away from the shower head? Which is it? Facing towards the shower head, facing away from the shower head. I didn't realize this was such a hot topic. And the video that was sent to me was somebody saying, hey, there's all these sociopaths out here that don't face the shower head when they shower. And I feel like I didn't know that there were people who showered facing the shower head. Like, what? There are people who regularly face The shower head? I am a back to the shower head unless I need to wash my face. I normally don't switch back and forth. Rotate's going to be our third option. But I feel like most of us have a set way, like the way that you spend 90% of your time. Jam, this is an excellent point, because if you don't want to get the hair wet, you do. Oh, this is a fair point, because when you do a body only shower, because women have like 7 different types of shower. There's like it's like going to a car wash where there's like the full mamma jamma, but then there's like the quick rinse. Women have like a quick rinse, a quick rinse and a hair wash, a face mask, hair wash, full shave. Like there's multiple kinds of showers. But yes, if you are not getting your hair wet, you do have to do it facing the shower. That is an option, because that's the only time I face, because if you're back, you don't want to get the hair wet. So that is a very good point. If I'm washing my hair, I am always facing backwards. I do not like having my face towards the shower at all. So I love seeing what you guys have said. Now, do you guys all rinse your hair with the shower behind you, or do you rinse your hair with the shower in front of you? Because that's a thing too. There needs to be a third option, both depending what I'm doing. Hair away from the shower, washing body facing the shower. There will be an option for both. Because some people are like hardcore shower behind, hardcore shower in front, and some of you are both. But my husband rinses his hair to the front, like just on the top of the head. I don't understand. Like I'm back here like this. Like I don't want that in my face at all. At all. I don't want it at all. So yes, back bend rinsing. I do that too. But some go forward. I don't understand. Rinse to the front. See? I don't know. Is this a long hair thing? Because like rinsing to the front wouldn't work. My hair is long. But I didn't realize this was an issue until we started parenting. And then we're telling our kids how to do things differently. And he's like, wait a second. I'm like, wait a second. Because normally if we shower together, more information than y'all need. But normally if we shower together, we're not washing our hair. Like that's just not what's happening. That's not what's happening at all. Rinse to the back. Oh, well, I mean, Aaron, if you have hair past your hips, there's no way you can rinse to the front. That's just not going to work. And I don't know if this is a long hair, short hair thing. Behind for washing hair to make sure the soap suds don't get in my eyes. Yes, because ouchies. This is my son and I have started talking about this because he keeps getting soap in his eyes. And I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I am rinsing my hair like here. And I'm like, you turn around and you do this. And then what? And hence the conversation of husband, what are you telling our son with how he's washing his hair? So long hair has to go down the back, for sure. Long hair, you have to rinse to the front unless you want hair down your butt crack. What? How do you rinse it to the front? Do you split it? I mean, my hair's never been that long, I guess. So I've never had to worry about it. Oh, I also don't want conditioner in my pores. Like we got it like this. There's time that goes into keeping the skin like this. It is skincare is one of my favorite sections of YouTube, is watching people talk about skincare, talk about what they use for their skincare, talk about their Korean 11-step skincare routine. Like I love all of it. Option 4 needs to be for co-showering. We do have 4 options. We're going to have some for sure. Long hair, constant rotation. It's fair. All right. So we're going to have multiple options, because I think there's some that are going to be like, I always am like front of the shower. I'm always back to the shower. It depends what I'm washing and rotating, because depends what I'm washing is definitely a need here. You guys, court of public opinion, where are we at with likes? Where are we at? Because we might need to just go into it. I saw a question, facing the shower head unless you're doing your back. I mean, fair. And we've already talked about brushing teeth in the shower, so it was fair to have another shower-related question. Oh, we're at 1.1. All right, y'all. All right. Who, it's time. It's time for those of you that are new. Are any of you, is that anybody's first stream that's still here? If you're still here and it's your first stream, you have to let me know. Whose first stream is it? Anybody? Tell me in the chat. And we're almost done with the drink. We're taking a big old swish. Miss Opinionated, hello. Most Black women I know wash their hair once a week or go to the hairdresser front facing while brushing teeth. See, I also, when I'm not washing my hair, I definitely face front. And I didn't think about that because I wash my hair every 4 days if I can. It is definitely, look, again, with the 4 different types of showers, for sure, you don't want to mess that up. You need to, like, hair when you shower and when you wash your hair is an entire ass thing. And like when you take time to wash the hair in the shower and then shave, it's a whole situation. It is a whole situation. Let's talk about whose first stream it is. Welcome, Shazabelle. Hello. Thank you for being here. Meow. Cat Cooper. Meow. Meow. Hello, Isabel. Welcome to your first stream. Hello, Sky. Meow. Meow, Sky. I like the profile picture, but I am not a cat. I'm sorry. I am not a cat. I am not a cat. Victoria husband. Hello. Hello. Brooke Richardson, first time live. I'm doing little arm dances, but you can't see because Lawyer Cat doesn't have any arms. Hello, Angela. Hello, Maricia. Hello, Sarah. Y'all, first streams. Not first stream, but first subscribed. Welcome to the Law Nerds. You guys, did you know that to be a Law Nerd, all you need to do is subscribe? That's all you need to do. And then you are a Law Nerd and you are part of the cool Law Nerd kids because I think we're the most fun place on the internet. Absolutely time for Lawyer Cat. Lawyer Cat. Law Nerds, thank you for being so welcoming to our first time streamers. And it's the end of the stream. Everybody's here. I love it. First stream, but long time team replay. Welcome to your first stream. It's so fun to keeping it live. This is my son's first time seeing this. Hello, son. I am not a cat. Welcome, Cosmic, to the live. It is good to see you. Bring on the pirates. I do watch Hiram. I very much enjoy his videos. Lawyer Cat. Well, I mentioned earlier, but this is my first stream in months because I started a new job in criminal data analysis, neck deep in court documents. Jamie, same. Criminal data analysis sounds amazing. And you're amongst a good company here. Can't wait to hear more about how the job goes. Love it. Yes. Welcome all the first time streamers. I am imagining you all wanted to hear about what was going on with Erika Jayne. And I love that you're here for it. For sure. It's coming, Jakes. I talked about it a bit earlier. I'm working on the bracketing of it all because it grew into an entire project. Like it became a whole ass project. So that's what it is. You guys, I know Diva. I know the weird warm body, but that's Lawyer Cat. The Law Nerds asked for Lawyer Cat. We got Lawyer Cat. Lawyer Cat was here. Now we've got our matey. This is making me want to go back on a Disney cruise. I just have to be honest. I miss cruising. It's why I am going to be covering the state of Florida. DeSantis, look, no politics, but I do want to see the lawsuit with regard to letting cruise ships sail again because I have personal interest in cruising. I miss it. And I think a lot of cruise ship companies are threatening to go out of the country to do it. So, Lori Smith, I worked at a bank. Big money clients going under were often kept going. Always amazed me. Well, yes, Lori, I agree. And we saw that with the banking industry as a whole. They do this stuff, and then the banking industry needs a bailout when everything goes sideways. Living Sweetly, how is it going with the colorful toilet paper? I love the colorful toilet paper. The children are very entertained by the colorful toilet paper. And I don't know if my parents are still watching, but I've saved some colorful toilet paper for when they come to visit. Oh, yes. It is the pirate. Pirate goes with Lawyer Cat. This is the less scary. We do. This is the least scary of the filters. There was a night when we went through a few filters, and some of them were terrifying and haunt my dreams. Some of them haunt my dreams. So we are going to talk about, because I'm terrible at it and it's the end of the night and my throat hurts. I don't know how to do a good pirate. I don't know how to do a bad pirate. I don't know how to do a good pirate. I'm the reason that the rum is gone. The mods have told me, Jack, it's your first stream from Australia. You're like, what fresh hell is this? Yes. This is what this is. But in all sincerity, y'all, I am so happy to be here with you every week. I'm going to be talking about cruise ships, I think on Tuesday. That is on my goal for Tuesday. I have been reading it. I need to pull the filings in all. We're back to life, back to reality. Okay, we're back to reality to say good evening. But the cruise ship stuff will be Tuesday. There is going to be more about the Girardi case bankruptcy on Wednesday for the Emily show. That will be a video as well. The videos are going to be, I'm going to try to keep some of the case brief style videos going because it's really helpful to keep that under like 20-minute video to allow for those who just need to get caught up real quick in the cases that we're talking about. So I'm going to try to do that for sure. Thank you for the super sticker, Almost Surely. What else? So cruise ships on Tuesday is the plan unless anything else pops off. You guys know that I am on social media on the weekend, but not on YouTube Live. So if you don't follow me on Twitter and Instagram, that's where I will be. You guys, it has been a night. I was not expecting that we were going to have to, actually, next time I'm a pirate, I will sing I will sing the SpongeBob song next time I'm a pirate. For sure. I will. Fred and George came on live, I think it was last week, where they came scampering on in here, but this end of the house is not where they love exploring. So as they get more comfortable, I will leave the door open and let them hop up on the chair and be in and out. So that's what's going on for the week. If you want to follow along on social, please do. I imagine that more nonsense will pop off on Twitter, and I will likely ignore most of it because, there are facts. And then there was fuckery. And we've talked about the facts multiple times. So there is no need to continue on with the fuckery. A big thank you to the mods. Thank you, everybody, for showing the mods some love. I appreciate it so much. Our mods are great. They help keep us on track, help keep me from getting distracted, and help keep the chat an inclusive and friendly place where we can have conversations in a way that is comfortable and compassionate for everyone. And that is something that's really important to me as the law nerd community continues to grow. So thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Have the cruise companies fix the pollution charges by the feds? Misopinionated? I don't know. We're diving into cruise shit on Tuesday. So I will see then. Because I do not know off the top of my brain. I sure don't. I love you guys. I appreciate you for being here. Thank you for being a law nerd. I will see you all over socials this weekend and back here on YouTube on Tuesday. Oh, if you haven't checked out my latest video, there is a case brief on Jen Shaw. I'd appreciate it if you go check that out. I think it's helpful. And if somebody's trying to figure out what's going on in that case, just go ahead and share it with them and be like, this will get you all caught up real quick. Thanks so much. And I will see you on Tuesday. Connect with me everywhere. I'm at the Emily D. Baker. If you guys want to join the text, just text Emily.com. If you want to join the channel, lawnerdsunite.com. Happy to have you. Support what we do here on the YouTube.